Do you have a bachelor's or a master's degree in a STEM field? Do you want to work and live in the US? The H-1B visa is among the most sought after visas. It's designed for individuals with specialized skills in science, technology, engineering, and math. Getting an H-1 visa is a complex process. There are only a limited number of visas available every year. In this video, we'll explore the ins and outs of the H-1B visa application process, including eligibility requirements, application deadlines, and common challenges. The H-1B visa is a non-immigrant visa that allows skilled foreign professionals to work in the US temporarily. Whether you're a foreign professional looking to work in the US or an employer looking to sponsor an H-1B visa, this video will provide the information you need to succeed. So let's dive in. Hi, I'm Shariq Khan, the South Asian attorney. The H-1B visa program has an annual numerical limit or cap on the number of visas issued each financial year. For fiscal year 2023, the H-1B cap was set at 85,000, with 20,000 reserved for individuals with advanced degrees from US universities. When the number of H-1B applications exceeds the cap, the USCIS uses a random selection process, or lottery, to determine which applications will be processed. This lottery system ensures that visas are issued fairly and equitably to individuals with qualifications and skills needed by US employers. You must meet specific criteria to be eligible for H-1B visa. For ease of understanding, I will divide this criteria into three parts: job requirements, employee requirements, and employer requirements. The job must require at least a bachelor's degree. This requirement should be common in the industry. For example, other employers offering similar jobs should have the same degree requirements. The nature of the duties is specific and complex. In fact, it's so complex that it's associated with a bachelor's degree. If you're seeking an H-1B visa, you must possess a bachelor's degree or higher. Your foreign bachelor's degree should be equivalent to US bachelor's degree. If this is not the case, experience or training in the profession could make up the difference. Well, I have a 3 years bachelor's degree from India. How many years is it in the US? Are you saying I can't work in the US? No. All I'm saying is that you have to have experience in the field. Okay, let me explain this concept a little further. USCIS thinks that 3 years of experience in the field is equivalent to 1 year of university education. So, for example, a bachelor's degree in the US requires 4 years to graduate. Suppose a bachelor's degree in your country takes 3 years instead of 4 years. In this case, you should have at least 3 years of professional experience to make up for the absence of 1 year. You must have a job offer from a US employer willing to sponsor your H-1B visa. You just have to ensure that at the time of entry, you intended to depart the US at the termination of your employment. For more information of intent, check out my video titled The 90-Day Rule. If you're finding this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It really helps my practice grow. The employer must be a US company that's registered with USCIS so it can sponsor an H-1B visa. The government wants to ensure that foreign workers do not harm US workers' wages, as well as working conditions. Therefore, the employer must pay you a prevailing salary equal to or higher than is paid to a US worker with similar qualifications and experience. To get an H-1B visa, you need a job offer from a US employer. This employer should be willing to sponsor you. The employer must file an LCA, a labor condition application, with the US Department of Labor, also known as DOL. You must meet certain requirements to be eligible for an H-1B visa, such as having a bachelor's degree or equivalent work experience in a specialized field. The employer must submit a registration for H-1B lottery. This includes providing basic information about the employer and employee, and paying a $10 registration fee. If your registration is selected in the lottery, you'll be notified by the USCIS and invited to file a complete H-1B petition. The employer must file a complete H-1B petition within the designated filing period, which includes providing additional documentation about the job, the employer, and the employee. USCIS will review the petition and decide whether to approve or deny your H-1B visa. If your H-1B visa is approved, you can travel to the US and begin working for your sponsoring employer. Suppose there's a material change in employment, such as a change in job location, significant changes in duties, promotion or demotion, reduction in salary or hours worked, or a change in your employer. In that case, the employer must notify the USCIS and file for an H-1B amendment. An H-1B employee is permitted to work for a new employer as long as the new employer files for an H-1B transfer with the USCIS. However, you're not going to have to wait for an approval. Instead, you can start working for the new employer immediately after you file the transfer. The H-1B1 visa program has a separate cap for workers from Chile and Singapore. The program is limited to a cap of 6,600 visas a year, with 1,400 visas for Chile and 5,400 visas for Singapore. This cap has never been met and is always available. To qualify for an H-1B1 visa, the worker must be in a specialty occupation and have a degree or equivalent. The employer is not required to file a petition with the USCIS. Instead, the employee can directly apply to a U.S. consulate abroad. The employee must provide a written offer of employment and a certified labor condition application. The employee will be admitted for 1 year, and the visa can be extended indefinitely in 1-year increments. Getting an H-1 visa is a complex process, and there's no guarantee that your application will be approved. However, I can give you some suggestions to increase your chances of success. Start the process early. The H-1B visa application process can take several months, so it's important to start the process as early as possible. This will give you enough time to gather all the required documents and allow your employer enough time to file the necessary paperwork. You can choose to work with a qualified attorney. This can prove to be pretty helpful. An attorney can ensure that all your paperwork is in order and can help you prepare for the interview process. We can also help you understand your rights and responsibilities as an H-1B visa holder. Not all employers can sponsor H-1B visas. Some may have a better track record than others regarding successful applications. So before accepting a job offer, research the employer to ensure that they have a good reputation and history of successfully sponsoring visas. Show that you have specialized skills. To be eligible for an H-1B visa, you'll need to show that you have specialized skills that are in demand in the US job market. Also, if you have a background in STEM fields or have other specialized skills that may be in high demand, highlight these skills in your application. Also, you have to be prepared for an interview process if your H-1B visa application is selected for further review. Usually this is not the case, but it can happen. You can prepare for this interview by practicing your responses to common questions and bringing all the necessary documents to the interview. Also, consider alternatives if you cannot secure an H-1B visa. For example, the O-1 visa is designed for individuals with extraordinary abilities in science, education, business, or athletics. The TN visa is available to citizens of Canada or Mexico who work in certain professions, such as accounting, engineering, and law. In conclusion, the H-1B visa program allows U.S. employers to hire skilled foreign workers in specialty occupations. These workers can help fill gaps in the American workforce and contribute to the growth of the U.S. economy. Even though getting an H-1 visa can be a challenging process, it's still worth the effort if you're hoping to live and work in the U.S. If you have questions or want us to process your application, please schedule a consultation at the link provided in the description box. Thank you for watching the video.